I am Dr.SVL.Sindhura. You know me through Usirikaaya Ayurvedic Education Center. Today I am going to speak about diabetic nephropathy. As you all know, diabetic nephropathy is a complication of diabetes. Diabetic nephropathy is also the leading cause of morbidity and mortality in many of the diabetic patients. And as we are speaking about nephropathy, we should understand what nephron is and where this nephron lies. Okay, so the nephron is the functional unit of the kidney. Brief anatomy of the kidneys, if we speak about, they are the organs which lie just below the waist. They are the retroperitoneal organs, and when we internally see the kidney, there is a smooth outer lining called the renal cortex and the inner part which is called renal medulla. Both these things, that is the renal cortex and the renal medulla, combinedly are called renal parenchyma. Whenever a nephropathy patient comes and you see the USG of the nephropathy patients, there we can observe that renal parenchymal changes. Grade 1 changes, grade 2 changes, like that. So the changes, the scan what it is showing is there are changes in the renal cortex and the renal medulla. Where does this nephron lie? A part of this nephron lies in the renal cortex and a part of this nephron lies in the renal medulla. So the nephropathy means the nephron usually has a tubule and a capsule. This capsule filters the blood that comes in and sends the waste part or the toxic part out of this tubule. Okay, in a briefly, the efferent arteriole which comes in brings the blood inside this nephron, and the efferent arteriole get backs this blood into the circulation. Imagine a tea filter, as if a tea filter gets accumulated with the tea dust over the time. In the same way, especially in the diabetic patients also, the capsule of this nephron, the capillary network of this nephron which filters the blood plasma, also gets thickened, and it is called progressive glomerular sclerosis. So because of this thickness of this basement membrane and sclerosis of this glomerular capillary network, there starts the disease called nephropathy. The main functions of the nephron is reabsorption and secretion. Secretion is nothing but excretion. Reabsorption, what it reabsorbs from the blood is glucose, protein, sodium ions, chloride ions and bicarbonate, which are very much essential for the body in the functions of the body. And what it excretes is, usually it excretes creatine, urea and nitrogen from the body. Now let me explain you the symptoms of this nephropathy. Usually, in the initial stages of diabetic nephropathy, no symptoms are seen. Gradually, as the disease progresses and when almost 25% of the kidney is damaged, then only the symptoms of this diabetic nephropathy will be seen in the patients. The usual initial symptoms will be swelling in the lower part of the body, that is swelling in the limbs, and you also in some patients we also see swelling around the eyes, generally in the morning time. After that, usually there will be excess frothing in the urine, or you can see foam formation in the urine. Excessive frothing or foam formation in the urine is seen, and there will be usually loss of appetite associated with some sort of nausea, and after vomiting the patient feels a lot of relaxation. And when we go to the investigation, as we all know, renal function test will be the gold standard test for diagnosing this diabetic nephropathy. Apart from that, the USG also shows renal parenchymal changes, and when this diabetic nephropathy is associated with uncontrolled diabetes leading to urinary infections, there is urinary infection, you'll have some mild fever regularly. Some sort of mild fever will be there. associated with frequent body aches, and sometimes you will get hiccups because of electrolyte imbalance in the body. Hiccups are usually seen, not in many patients, but some patients complain of hiccups also. And there will be general feeling of malaise and fatigue and body ache and headache, all these things, etc. If you are a diabetic patient of more than 5 years, you have to compulsorily check your urine for microalbumin. This is the initial symptom or initial sign of diabetic nephropathy. Whenever you have that microalbumin plus in the urine test, then in near future you are going to develop diabetic nephropathy. So checking regularly for microalbumin in the urine is very much essential for all the diabetic patients who have crossed 5 years of diabetes. Coming to the Ayurvedic part, whenever a metabolic complaint is there in the body, two things we should keep in mind are, one is Meda and the second one is Kleda. When we manage this Medas and the Kleda in the body, every metabolic disease can be managed. In the same way, in diabetes also, whenever we properly manage this Medas and Kleda, then we can effectively manage this diabetic nephropathy also. Any metabolic complaint, usually it may be diabetes or obesity or any metabolic complaint, usually it starts from a kapha stage and ends up in the vata stage. Regarding this diabetic nephropathy, it also starts initially as a kapha disease, and when it comes to end stage renal disease, it ends up as a vata disease. Medovahanam, Srotasanam, Moolam, Vrukka and Vapavahanam. So whenever we manage this Medas, the kidneys also get rejuvenated, and thereby we can reverse diabetic nephropathy. Yes, we can manage this diabetic nephropathy for more than 10 to 15 years with Ayurvedic medicines. You may not opt for going for dialysis. You can simply have some kashayas in the home, and you can definitely manage this diabetic nephropathy, right? So when your blood creatine, serum creatine level is below 2, the main kashayas which are indicated is Nisha Katakad Kashayam along with Punarnavadi Kashayam. So 10 ml of Nisha Katakad Kashayam and 10 ml of Punarnavadi Kashayam taken with 30 ml of water in the morning, that is on the 7 a.m. 6 a.m. whenever you get up, and in the same time in the evening, that is 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. in the evening. When it is indicated, if your serum creatine level is below 2.5 or 2, if it is more than 2.5 or 2, the main kashayas which are indicated would be Aragudadi Kashayam along with Punarnavadi Kashayam. The three kashayas whatever I have given are practically given to the patients, and the results are experienced by us in our clinic, and we have studied those cases of diabetic nephropathy for the long run. Since 5 years we have been studying this nephropathy, and in majority of the patients the diabetic nephropathy got reversed and they have controlled their serum creatine levels. Now I will say you some simple remedies for this diabetic nephropathy. I'll give you a combination of kashayas which are very simple. Okay, let me start. The number one kashaya is made with Punarnava, Sunti and Haritaki. Equal amounts of Punarnava, Sunti and Haritaki made as a decoction, like that. You make a tea decoction, you can also make decoction with this, and you can take 60 ml in the morning and 60 ml in the evening, which relieves edema of the diabetic nephropathy patients. Number 2 kashaya is Guduchi, Gokshura and Amalaki. Whenever you are suffering with urinary tract infection, you have to take it frequently. Unlike the first kashayam, second kashayam should be taken frequently. Every 3 hours, 30 to 40 ml of kashayam can be taken, and it effectively manages your urinary tract infection. The number 3 Kashayam is Punarnava, Gokshura and Arjuna. Equal amounts of this Punarnava, Gokshura and Arjuna definitely controls your creatine levels. It can also be taken 2 times per day, 60 ml in the morning and 60 ml in the evening. The number 4 Kashayam is very important one, and it is added with Lodhra and Sunti and Dashamula. This is fantastic Kashayam which enhances your glomerular filtration rate. Consult your nearby Ayurvedic physician and use this simple home remedy type of Kashayas in day-to-day your life. During this lockdown period, majority of you cannot visit most of the allopathic hospitals. Better you can consult an Ayurvedic physician online or through phone call and use this Kashayams and stay home, stay happy.